It is me, musselburgh hat girl. I get this question all of the time about the size of needles and yarn that I use for my musselburgh hat, so let's talk about it. So whenever I knit a musselburgh hat, I use fingering weight yarn, usually sock yarn specifically, and I say that because like sometimes there's fingering weight yarns that are definitely thinner than like a sock type fingering weight yarn. I feel like a sock yarn is a little bit plumper than something like just got like a Cascade. It's not Cascade 220. It's like a Cascade fingering weight yarn, and it's definitely thinner than like this yarn here that is just a fingering weight sock yarn. Anyway, I use fingering weight yarn and US size 4 needles, which is a 3.5 millimeter needle. And people always ask, well, isn't the fabric like holy? And I would say no. It is definitely loose. Like it is not a firm, like dense fabric by any means. And that is intentional because this hat is basically two hats. The whole thing is double weight, like when you put it together and wear it. So it is 2 layers over the head and like 4 layers over the ear. And for me, I've never lived in like an incredibly cold climate where I wanted an incredibly thick hat. So this works well for me in the climate that I live, where it's like a thin enough fabric that I don't feel like when I wear it that I'm gonna be like suffocating. Pardon the fact that this is wrinkly from storage, but I don't think that this fabric looks holy. I know that my general tension is on somewhat closer to the tighter side. I'm definitely not a loose knitter, right? But I don't think it looks holy, and I never have. All of that being said, it's not as though I never knit a hat in any other like recipe. So this is a free hat pattern that I'm releasing at some point in time in the future when I have the chance to write it up. Completely different construction to the musselburgh hat. Like it's not double weight. It's just one single layer and it's knit from the bottom up, whatever. It is DK weight and I knit it with US size 3 needles. So like considerably a tighter, thicker fabric because it is just like one layer over the head. So that's the sitch. That's what's going on.